We are here with WWES Wes Capper. We're going to dive into this episode. We're going to have our shoots ready to go, and it's going to be completely safe.
Classic. This episode today, before we start, is brought to you by Raunchy Brewing Co.
It's actually good.
They are the beer that's actually good, Delby.
If you want to support the pod, support the guys that support us, jump on our Instagram and link in bio. You can actually order some Raunchy from there.
Yep.
Most importantly, new sponsors for the first time. Yes or no?
No, because I haven't sorted.
We've launched on Insta, but not on.
Yeah, I want to sign something first.
Okay, cool. So we've got to sign some stuff first.
Yep.
And
Wes's camera has gone off.
Gone.
But behind him is alltradescover.com.au.
Yeah, just imagine it looks good. Actually, Branch are you going to change the thing? So All Trades Cover is for the little guys and the subcontractors and maybe even fighters. I wonder if they could sort you out.
Maybe.
Yeah, cover your body.
I've actually got I'm with Combined Insurance.
Okay, maybe compare with alltradescover.com.au.
Let's not plug another insurance company. But we've had a few issues towards the end.
Yeah.
Even my pictures have fallen down.
Jesus.
But you'll hear at the end, we really needed to finish this episode, I think, because a whole lot of shit happened right at the end. So
Yep. But yeah, if you are a subcontractor, a sole trader, alltradescover.com.au, and a big shout out to a new Patreon.
Oh, yes.
Which is going to get lots of bonus content, extra episodes. We've got stacks of extra pods on there. There's a few there from when I was in Edinburgh as well with some
41
big
now.
names. Yeah, I don't know. It keeps jumping up and down. But Jason Breed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we talk about breeding very early.
I feel like there's someone else prior to this Jason
I don't
Breed.
think so.
We had like a big jump up.
That was Fish. Fish is back on. Jeremy Blab.
Yeah, but there was someone before this, some girl. There was a girl. Anyway.
Well, we'll give you a shout out on the next one. But we're here with Wes Capper, MMA lightweight,
how professional,
future champion of the world. What do we talk about, bro?
We spoke a lot about psychedelics.
Yeah.
Heaps about psychedelics.
Wasn't expecting
we spoke
that.
about fighting barely at all.
Yeah.
Which was actually nice from my point because I was thinking,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about fighting the whole time.
Yeah.
Here we go. But it was actually nice not to talk about anything. Probably it's going to suck for maybe some of you guys. You're like, I want to hear about some of the fighting. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed that.
Fighting ego.
Fighting ego, some psychedelics, some, life choices.
Challenges. We came up with maybe some more challenges that are going to be in the 50.
The people have to maybe put up some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need some we need some input from our audience. So if you're listening, go to @hardyarnspodcast.com or The Hard Yarns Podcast.
The Hard Yarns.
Not .com. Fucking just on Insta.
Yeah. Just DM
and
us.
DM us some suggestions for the challenge, which you will need to hear about. It's right near the end, so listen all the way through.
yeah. 100%. It was a bloody good episode.
Yeah.
We even talked parenting. Got a bit of everything. It was fucking
talking about Delby's obsession with pegging.
Have to experience it.
It's a very good episode.
Stretch first.
Definitely stretch.
Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thanks,
we really
brother.
appreciate it.
Your time.
And let's get hard.
Let's get stretched.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
You look tan as fuck, bro.
That's what I mean. It's not real.
That's real.
Nah. That's not.
Wow, I look very tan.
There's something off about the settings for sure.
No, it's just colour.
Dude,
Colour.
that's not how I look right now. I'm not that brown, hey.
Oh, you're pretty brown, bro.
I'm not.
And also, that's the screen.
Yeah, okay.
The screen. And I think...
I'm due for a haircut.
yeah, you look good.
All right.
Fuck yeah. How we going?
You look like a cage fighter now.
Yeah. You do. You got the...
Embracing the chocolate.
Yeah. Chocolate L, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel, man? You had a fight on Saturday night. Eternal.
I did have a fight on Saturday night.
And congrats.
Can't tell by the look of you.
Congratulations, bro.
The only thing that actually saw was my leg. I didn't really get hit that much.
Yeah. What'd you do? Kick the fuck out of him?
No, he kicked the shit out of my front leg.
Oh,
Check
really?
your kicks, kids. It hurts if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Isn't that what fucked up? Who'd that fuck up?
Conor McGregor.
McGregor in that fight. Yeah.
Snapped his leg.
Oh yeah, that was different fight, but he did snap his leg in that one. In that
That's
other
no
one, but-
different to another guy from Perth here, Jack Becker. Good
Yeah.
mate. Snap his leg. That's pretty yuck. And he actually came back
Recently, hey?
Yeah, that's to come back from that's pretty impressive.
That was while we were in Sydney.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, he did that over in Sydney. He was with that whole crew over there.
Really?
Yeah, that was his comeback.
Oh,
Yeah, sick.
Snap fucking leg, snap banjos, everything. That's some
Pre-pod chats.
pre-pod chats. Oh, no one here's snapped their banjo. It was a confession from confessional the other night.
Yeah, sick. But good to have you back, man. It's your episode was one of our first big viral episodes, actually.
Oh, really?
Did you know? Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you that, but yeah. Listeners love you. Oh, Delby's just fixing his mic a little bit. Yeah, you beauts. Yeah. Give us a look. That's better.
Nice.
Yeah, lick of that. Your episode was fucking awesome. They love your mindset, your mentality and stuff.
Oh, keep playing on my ego.
But what I'm interested in to begin with is like what's changed your mindset from boxing to MMA. I know I've seen it before, but like,
Is it the paycheck in the UFC?
No, the paycheck's way worse.
Yeah, is it?
Like,
Fuck.
Obviously at that high level it'd definitely be significantly better, but at the nice Australian Perth
Local level.
circuit, it's certainly a step down. But it's not really about that. It's
Yeah.
about the fact that I just kind of got over boxing, wasn't really enjoying it as much anymore, and this just excites me. And I actually started doing MMA as a teenager. Not a lot of people know that, but that's what I started doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, circle of life. Kuna Matata back around. So I'm like, it's kind of reborn me a little bit. Like, I'm excited. I get nervous. Not that I don't normally get nervous in other fights, but I don't know, like a few weeks out, I'm thinking about things that could or couldn't go wrong, and and all the different things. But normally I'm just like, whatever.
New challenge.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variables that can go wrong for you to really get hurt. So it keeps you on your toes.
No more saunas before fights.
Nah, I don't. I haven't been, I
To
haven't
keep
been-
your teeth in your mouth.
Yeah, no, I haven't been to a sauna pretty much since. I try and go a little bit more, just for somewhat health benefits, but not when I'm wasting away. If I do any of the cuts now, it's always in a bath.
yeah,
Right.
I went this
Got
morning.
post-traumatic sauna disorder.
Actually,
Generally, yeah, like it,
Oh, yeah?
like it
really?
Brings back-
stresses me out getting into
'Cause-
one. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
What
And if you don't know what we're talking about, listen to the first step with Wes. It's
Yeah.
fucking
That would
insane.
easily, like, I know I said it probably on the first one, but that would have been without a doubt if I could think. If you think of any, like, that was the closest I've ever been to death. Like the closest I've ever been to death would definitely have to have been in a sauna.
Yeah. So for the listeners who may have, go back and listen to that episode because it's a ripper. But yeah, he collapsed in a sauna, knocked out his front teeth. Day before, 2 days before the fight.
No, day before the fight.
Yeah.
Still weighed in. I went back in the sauna and cut the rest of the weight.
Fucking so insane, bro.
Weighed in, fought the next night.
With your nerves exposed in your
And then
teeth.
actually more teeth,
Teeth came out.
with my bloody mouth guard. Anyway, these are things you do. You live and you learn.
Are you got veneers in now?
Nah, so one of them's an implant,
Mm-hmm.
and then the others are pretty much just all snapped in half, and they just had to be like
Chipped
capped
up.
and tidied up. And
Where's Kappa?
Yeah, the cap
Putting
too.
the cap and Kappa.
So yeah.
I went to sauna last night, and it's funny. Like if you have a couple of days off, well, I had about a week off because I started doing hot yoga. Have you done hot yoga?
That's just with
No,
smoking
I get,
tens in
like,
the class.
I get too I get too agitated in there.
In yoga?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is challenging. I did the Pilates because I got one of these 60 days, $60 for 30 days things.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
just trying all the classes to see what I like. So when I go
And-
back, I'm
and
not
you're probably
paying
just
big
looking
money
at
for shit that I don't.
Probably they're just looking at all the birds as well that are doing
Yeah,
it.
so that's why it's called hot yoga.
Yeah, it is hot yoga, but the Pilates was full of, middle-aged to elderly women.
Fucking stop it.
And
I'm gonna snap a banjo at
right.
Pilates, boy.
it was the hardest thing I've ever done. All these old ducks are just
What,
going,
fucking-
good luck. And I was, just trying to straddle this fucking Bosa ball or something
hard,
like that.
man.
I was
Is that
like,
what you call them?
yeah, that's what. But man, it was fucked. Like I genuinely think I could give up gym and still
Who's that?
like give up gym, which I don't do very much anyway. But if I could give up the gym and do that instead, and I'd be probably more in shape and bigger, and
Probably.
stronger if I did it consistently. It just works every fucking muscle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but if you did that, the gym consistently.
actually, fuck, very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
You'd work every muscle.
Yeah.
Sweet. It's a matter. It's just boredom for me. Hey, like fucking going in and lifting weights is so boring.
Yeah, that's the gym for me. Yeah.
But I've even said, like, if someone could invent a workout like a gym where it's a game or it's a game based, where there's some sort of like way to score a goal or compete.
Would that be more like
ADHD? Yeah.
Yeah. Would that be more like CrossFit, like competition style?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
Would you do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. No, because it just encourages bad technique. When you're like going hard out trying to, I don't know, man. I've just contradicted myself. But CrossFit is notorious for injuries, right?
You do get hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just only, like you said, it's just some of them people are honestly some of the fittest people on the earth. You know? I mean, they're pretty impressive at what they can do with their bodies. So when you're trying to push yourself to failure while doing quite complex movements, it's obviously going to raise the chances of you hurting yourself, I suppose. But so is getting punched in the face. So
I've said this before. Fucking boxing training is the worst. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, and not hard. Yeah, it's one of the hardest form of trainings I've done. And I started doing it just before I went to Europe again, and I realized, no, I don't want to do this anymore. It's insanely tough. I was doing it with, do you know Jagger? Jagger?
Yeah, I know Jagger.
Yeah, I was doing it with Jagger. He's good.
He's doing well now.
Really well. Just missed out on the Olympics, I think.
Yeah, but I might be able to get in the back door maybe. See how it goes. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
Nah, very good. But what's the difference?
Keeping your guard up is the thing that just makes me tight. Just keeping your hands up. That's like, that tires me out just doing that.
Bro,
like punching and then bringing it back up. I'm like, I'm fucking cooked here.
The grappling stuff that you do, like that is like even just trying to keep on the inside and trying to get that inside position and trying to do that against.
You're talking about MMA or boxing?
Boxing.
Yeah, right.
And fuck, man, like that stuff that I was doing. Like I sweat and everyone sweats and stinks. There is a different fucking pong when you're working that hard. Like I was like, holy fuck, there's something coming out of me.
Definitely I would definitely say the most tiring thing would be asking different energy systems of your body. Like in the aspect of MMA, you will see or even hear, say you go to the pub and people are generically fighting or whatever, you're watching the UFC and you'll hear people like idiots who's yelling, throw something or whatever. Like when you've been on the ground and using quite, strength aspects to then stand up and try and be explosive and punch, it's very, very difficult. It's very, very challenging. And if you haven't never done it before, you need to shut up.
Yeah, but there's nothing worse than someone lying on top of you and you're trying to hip escape and you can't, and you've used all your energy on the bottom.
And then try and use another, try and be up and get up and be explosive from there and try and punch and then try and hold them down. Like it's definitely very
Is that
tiring.
what you found as the hardest transition from boxing to MMA?
It'd be that would have been the biggest challenge to start with. The biggest challenge I had to start with would have been just like the timing and the way I stand, and I even come unstuck. That's why I got a sore leg today. Is just standing maybe a little bit too side on the first initial exchanges. I knew full well he was going to be a pretty good kicker. I knew nothing about the guy. That was my 5th opponent change, so it was. Wow. I had no.
Really?
Yeah, so I had 4 opponents pull out previously, and
injuries.
They saw his record.
I'm pretty sure most of them had a heap of sand in their vagina. It's going around a fair bit, so it's pretty contagious, I believe. So I think there was some injuries involved and some just complete and utter just.
They want to protect their record or something.
So I don't want to get into the.
Let's do it. Let's talk shit.
So
fuck yeah, let's talk shit.
At least you can back it up. I'll just
you go. I'll just sit here.
People talk a tough game.
Yeah.
And just don't really back a lot of that up. And that's not just fighting. That's pretty much in a lot of aspects of life. People talk a tough game and don't really have the
credentials.
Yeah, not even the credentials. A lot of them like one of the guys I did have a match up with was well and truly credentialed, like has had a lot of fights and is like very well regarded in, you know, the Muay Thai and kickboxing scene. He just pulled a heartstring. Yeah,
you wouldn't expect that from like that. Like from
I didn't expect
from
it.
MMA especially, the mindset you have to have just to get into that.
Well, they probably don't.
Look, I would
maybe they're false. I don't know.
I even said it on like the post-fight interview thing after that fight on Saturday. I was super grateful for Kevin, the guy that came over from Sydney, took it on 3 days' notice. Take all the bullshit aside, that takes, you know, someone with a bit of ticker as well, like just to take that on 3 days' notice. So I was super grateful because one, I'd done all this training, or you do all this prep for it, and then you don't get to have the, you know, the reward at the end. Then so it was a little bit disheartening, but like I was super grateful that he took it in the end, and I got to punch someone in the face.
I guess it gives you like a real appreciation as well for like Volk going, you know, like 11 days notice, and then he's the best in the world.
Like I feel very comfortable and not out of my lane when I say I've sparred and travelled to lots of different places in the globe, and he has without a doubt one of the most insane gas tanks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like he came over here for some visa thing before he was champ, and he did some rounds with him. A few other guys did some rounds with him, and he did, I think it was 14 5-minute rounds back to back with a fresh guy, and he just didn't stop. He was just like insane gas tank. Like,
what, is that genetics, you think, or is that just something he's forced himself to do?
That's just him having a big set of fucking balls.
Yeah,
like just ticker. He's got so much ticker, and I was just genuinely so impressed. I was like, and he's tiny.
Yeah,
there's those sorts of people in the world. Like he's an example. Like,
there's a ticker. Like
they have something different than.
100%.
They're the 1% of the 1% that you just even like I might sit here and go, I'm hard, I can try all these different things. You come up against someone like that, it's a different level. I think I listened to the Kurt Angle episode with Rogan, and I don't listen to many podcasts anymore. And I got told to listen to that episode, and for him to win a gold medal with a broken neck. Like in training. Like you're not. It's one of the hardest sports in the world. No real financial reward for it. So he's doing it for passion and because he fucking loves it. And to become the greatest in the world with a broken neck, that's a 1% of the 1%. And those sorts of people just don't. Spinal. They're very rare in life.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because how shit would you feel losing to a bloke with a broken neck? You're like, I can't even beat this dude with a broken neck.
Is it that, or is it more of a like, I'm so impressed that this guy's still the best in the world? But yeah, he would have that ego death, but also, fuck, I am experiencing. I have just.
I'm surprised because I didn't even know Kurt Angle had a neck. It's like,
yeah.
Fucking like that.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Just
nuts.
got pure traps. What are you gonna say?
He's obviously, it depends on the individual. But like, I would definitely walk away, obviously, a little bit disheartened if you'd lost, but definitely be going, holy shit, man, hats off to you. Like,
I
was also got a broken neck. For
Christ's
sake. Like, you can't give nothing but props for that.
Yeah. But that mindset, I see a lot of people with that mindset and not the ability to take it all the way. But I see a bit of that. I see that mindset with you, but you seem to have the ability. Now, I don't know if you're going to be the best in the world or anything. You might have aspirations for that, but you have that mindset of like, I'll do whatever the fuck I can to do what I can.
Like, I don't know. I've had a few, challenging aspects of life, and I don't know. I just have always been. I know I've gotten real stoic lately over the last couple of years.
Oh, that's a very anti-feminist movement, mate. You can't be stoic.
Real stoic, and I don't know, I've had a couple of psychedelic trips here and there, and they've like really made me think of life in a different format and a different way of looking at things. And
so you had a psychedelic, you're like, fuck boxing people. Now I need to fuck them up with all parts of my body. I need to choke people, kick people.
I want to fuck them up completely.
Somewhere along those lines.
What trips did you do? Was it shrooms or DMT?
Shrooms. So I've done some a few high doses of that.
Yeah.
But for not for fun, like for trying to grow.
I've literally only ever had them for healing,
therapeutic,
growth purposes. I've never done them in a I don't know,
Party,
or a social setting or all that. It's always been out in the bush somewhere or like somewhere secluded, and either by myself or with a friend, and just either cried like a little girl about some emotional things or gone deep, as I'm sure some people have had it. Like, it's been super beneficial to me. And the only reason why I got onto that is because I read Michael Pollan's book.
What's that one?
How to Change Your Mind.
Is it just one page? Do mushrooms?
No.
Is this the guy, the same person with the movie, the documentary?
Yeah, How to Change Your Mind. It was like, I found it.
Tell us about it, because we don't.
It's essentially like I'm going to butcher it, so don't quote me. So I'm probably going to get in trouble. But essentially, he had a family member, or it's his brother-in-law, so a close family member had cancer, and he went to the hospital to pretty much say his farewells and goodbyes or whatever else, because she was terminally ill. She was on her way out, and at that hospital they were giving all of like a certain section of the patients they call it a hero dose of of psychedelics, either that be LSD or psilocybin, and they were having something crazy like a 94% success rate of those people becoming absolutely and utterly just at peace with dying. So they were having people come in, with the doctor saying, hey, we're going to probably give you 3 months to live, and throwing that on someone unexpectedly would obviously be quite traumatic to them, and they were just running and trialing these psychedelic episodes with people, guided, and they went, they had a success rate with all these people just going, I'm cool with dying. And that's got him thinking. And then pretty much the entire book is a different chapter of a different psychedelic that he takes. And his experience and what he thinks of it and what had happened and things that
I'm just going to write it down. So Michael Pollard.
Poland.
How to Change Your Mind.
Because I did start watching the documentary series. Documentary series.
Yeah.
I started watching that. I'm certainly interested. I've never done only thing I've done mushrooms, but for fun.
Yep.
So certainly keen on doing some work. But the thing is, someone asked me the other day, I think it was Boris last week, asked me why I hadn't done it for healing or for that sort of growth. And I don't know why. Maybe I feel like I'm doing it myself, but I don't think there's no room for trying that. Same with ayahuasca, DMT. I want to try these things, and this year I want to try them before the end of the year. Ayahuasca, yeah.
Well, why don't we go over
South America?
Yeah, I'm keen.
Peru.
Instead of America.
Okay. Yeah, I'm keen. But
instead of America, or maybe we do comedy in America for a week or two, and then go
down.
Peru.
Could do that.
I'm hell scared of doing it. Like if I do ayahuasca and then it goes, nah, don't worry about comedy, man. Just fuck give up. Go.
After what Wolfie said.
What did he say?
That he told me about that comedian who did the DMT was pretty good, and just sort of like went, nah.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you life. I feel like that's the wrong way to look at it.
Yeah. Because it'll give you what
that's not the path that your life needs. Oh, we're getting deep now.
Oh, go deep, bro. Go deep.
I just feel like that's not. I don't feel like I feel that's the wrong way to look at it.
Yeah. What do you think's the right way to look at it?
Looking at like giving yourself a different perspective of life.
Yeah.
I think it's super beneficial.
Yeah.
I think potentially if it was to say that to you, Delby, for example.
But you're grasping onto that. I feel because you're seeing that as a massive point of your identity, and all of a sudden you're like, well, hang on, what if you take that away from me? Like, who am I?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Just a shitty podcast host.
Well, that's potentially what it ends up being. It's one of those things. If it tells you that, then maybe that's
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm thinking is like, because immediately after July will be Edinburgh Fringe, so I'll have like a month. I'll have a month of shows.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. So that's all I was thinking.
But that's your ego, like your logical.
I'm
brain
sure it
thinking.
won't. I'm sure it'll be more emotional stuff than.
Your blocks and your. I'm sure you've got a few of them floating around.
Like a big point in the book is. He has certain aspects of him doing the high dose, and something may come up, like something that he's scared of. So let's just say hypothetically there's a big dragon in this room or whatever, and all of the shamans would tell him, hey, go towards this thing, and he was petrified of it and doesn't want to go near it. But pretty much to simplify it, nearly all the things that he was scared of and that he doesn't want to go towards, it's not actually that.
Yeah.
The shaman would talk him through it, and he'd go up and touch this thing or go up near this thing he's scared of, and all of a sudden he had to change and go to some childhood trauma that he had that he'd suppressed and pushed aside that he didn't want to bring up. But it wasn't actually this big dragon that he's scared of. It was something else.
Something I'm seeing consistently with everyone's stories about psychedelic trips is these altered states are bringing out like traumas and helping them work through it. You talked about your back once.
Yeah, when I had some shrooms, I do them by myself as well.
Yeah.
And just to see, try to look inwards a little bit or whatever. I always feel like I want to be with nature as soon as I have
100%.
I need to get out of the house.
I don't care what anyone says. It draws you. It almost like wants to wheel you towards like greenery or like out in the bush or something.
Yeah, I literally go lie in the veggie patch out the back and look at the sky. And I can see like almost a grid in the sky. Oh. Like it's fucking, it's so weird because I'm looking up and I'm like, man, it literally looks like
trying to explain that to people that haven't done it is difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time I did down near like Frio where the channel, like where the river meets the ocean area there. And I remember I looked down at the ground and I sound like a tripper.
Yeah.
But I could see the earth.
Yeah.
Like I could see through the earth, like different patterns through the earth. I know that sounds,
and
you can
almost see when I look at like trees and plants and greenery, I can see almost like a glow coming off. Yeah. Like you can tell that there's life.
Good. Let's do it now.
Yeah. So good. Like there's life in it. But like the thing that was like my logical brain, right? I'm looking up, I'm like, man, I can see this fucking grid. And I'm like, I don't know that it's not there, but I'm like, man. But then when I turn my head, the grid wouldn't move. It would stay in my peripheral. Yeah. Almost like looking at our air conditioner, it's there. Yeah. And when I'd look back, it would be there. I'm like trying to rub my eyes and shit, and it's like, no, like there's an actual weird grid out there that I'm being able to access and see because of this part of my brain that's now not filtering. Because that's what my own theory is, that like the mushrooms take away some of your filter because our brain, to survive, we need to filter out. We're processing 100 things. We can hear the traffic outside. We're seeing the room. We're getting our equilibrium in our chair. I'm focusing on you, all my visual cues, everything. If you took all of that in at once, you'd fucking go mental. So your brain selectively filters out stuff. And I feel that if you're on mushrooms or any kind of psychedelic, it stops one of those filters and you're able to see something that might be there the whole time that your brain naturally filters out. Yeah. Almost like UV, like we can't see UV, but it's there. So maybe we are allowing our sense to pick something up that's there. That's my theory.
No, I agree. Like my experiences are a lot less than what you guys have had because one, my psychedelics have been for fun, except for weed. But weed to a certain point doesn't do much, but it does make me feel like when I've had moments where I've meditated, stoned and stuff like that, I've felt similar to what you guys were just describing, but nowhere near on what that. So I'm very interested, and I'll maybe we'll make a bit of Patreon content or something like that, and we can do a bit of, I don't know if it's worth that. Maybe it's more just for us.
Yeah, I definitely agree in doing it like somewhat guided or with a friend that's done it before, or like I don't know about going by yourself first.
Well, Wolfie was trying to say he would help me, and I thought you're the worst person I'd want to have as my guide. I'd probably go Delby. I reckon would be pretty good, or there's a few people I'd hit up. So.
The flip side, I get annoyed at people like on any sort of stimulant or any sort of drug where they're like, "Oh man, I'm so fucked, bro. Like, I can't handle that." Like, and even like with there was doing psychedelics with girls that you don't really know. Like when I was in Bali and we had some, this is before whatever, and they were just acting so dumb and immature. I was like, fuck, I don't need this. Yeah. See you later. I can't handle that. But
depends what you want out of it. Yeah. I suppose. Like I said, I'd only have recently gone down this path just from listening to that book a few years ago. And then I've gone pretty far down the rabbit hole and don't regret any of it, and had definitely some life changing experiences on them. And I would 100% do it again.
What was something that you saw or experienced, if you want, don't mind sharing?
I'll give you two off the top of my head. One was I just loved life. And I know that sounds super cliche and super standard, but I was sitting there just in nature, and I was with one of my mates who was taking me through the whole experience. It was like quite a large dose, and it was weird. It was like I don't know, like we're near the river there, and it's like I could hear the ocean, and then the boats were being really loud. So then I was getting upset with the boats. So I feel like they were upsetting. Like I could see the dolphins in the river there, and I was like, I don't know. I got real earthy. Like we're polluting, we're destroying this earth. Shush, with your boat. Yeah, I leave the and then all the greens were like green. Everything looked. And I remember I just sat there and I turned to my mate and I said, "Man, like this is honestly so beautiful, so beautiful." And in typical fashion, like real cliche, he just goes, "Cat, life is this beautiful, man. It is this beautiful. You're just too quick to just slow it down and look at how amazing it is just to be alive." And I was like, "You're right."
It's funny because you have these when you are tripping on anything, you have that realization point. Sometimes everything makes sense for just an instant, and then and you're like, it all feels right, it all makes sense, and then you lose it, and then you like want to explain it even to yourself in your own head, and you can't. You're like, what was that feeling? That was something. I can't tap into that all the time.
I just loved life. I just looked at life as a whole at that time, and I was just super grateful just to be alive. And it sounds pretty lame, but that was definitely
pretty good. When you call Lifeline, they should go, "Look, what's your address? I'm going to send you some mushrooms. Take them. Call us back in
That's a thing they're starting to work with. Hey. Mushrooms as a antidepressant.
Yeah, and ketamine.
That's with and ketamine. Yeah, that's at what are they called? Microdosing, though. Hey?
Yeah, I don't think microdosing works.
I agree. I've listened to a fair bit of other podcasts, or even like Huberman and I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, I would take their word pretty strong, and there's not a lot of evidence to suggest that microdosing gives you an adequate improvement in certain aspects. But hey, if it is a placebo effect and it works, then shit, take it. They've said that the higher doses are what give people quite significant mental changes and shifts. So
epiphany,
or even just looking at life a different way.
What was your second experience?
It's super lame, but at the time it was like it made me quite emotional. And I was at home by myself. I was sitting in my lounge room, and I looked at my daughter's dollhouse, and I just thought of, this sounds so.
Got him.
I looked at her dollhouse, and I just thought, I need to start stretching more because I'm really sore in the hips and my back and everything. And then I thought, wow, I'm not stretching enough at all. I'm not allowing myself enough time. So the last time I played with her at the dollhouse, I had to skull drag it over to the wall so I could lean against the wall because I wasn't flexible enough to sit there. And then I remember sitting there and being on my phone thinking that I'm not really involved, but I am involved.
The presentness.
I'm not like, and she can pick up on that. And I feel like, she wouldn't know. She's only, 2.5 years old. It's not a big deal. And then I started getting really emotional and upset with myself, just not giving not only my daughter my time, but just people in general my time. Yeah. And I just looked at my phone like it was poison. Yeah. And I just threw it. And I actually lost it for about 4 days because I couldn't remember where I threw it.
Into another dimension.
I just, fell down behind the couch and underneath this pillow. Anyway, and I just got this real emotional feeling of just letting my family down from this device.
That's pretty crazy, just from looking at a dollhouse.
Just looking at the dollhouse and just steamrolled because, I don't know, think about when you're driving in your car or even just when you're operating right now by yourself, you're having so many different thoughts and it's going through your head, but like you would know, like add some mushrooms into the mix and your time's out. Like the time's out by 10 and it's very, very intense and very, very like on you, So that's
a positive. Like I
took that as a positive. Yeah. And I just try and be more conscious now, and I definitely slip up a lot and don't give enough time. And
don't you think it's strange though when you are on mushrooms on your own, you don't want to be on your phone?
No, you can't even look at your phone. What are you talking about?
Like,
honestly, you can't operate. It doesn't. You don't even want to be on your phone.
I had the first like serious thing on my own. I had a bet on the footy, right? And normally I'd be watching the footy, checking it. I didn't give a fuck at that point. I was like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's just money. I don't care if I win or lose, whatever. Whereas watching that game, I would have got like pissed off. Like, and it ended up winning, but I was like, who gives a fuck? Yeah. And I couldn't look at the only time I grabbed my phone again was to order Uber Eats. And I ordered ribs, and then I had like this intense experience thinking, oh, it must be nice for that cow to move again. Because it said your order's on the move. I'm like, it's dead, it's ribs. It's moving again.
But do you think we can have these sorts of realizations without hallucinogenics? I'm not
probably.
I'm not disregarding their importance and their impact.
I definitely think you could.
Yeah.
If you... Yeah.
You need to allow time to reflect on your own, because you're not going to sit there without a distraction or a thing for 3 hours without it.
Dude, I'm like 5 to 6
Yeah.
before I'm back to listen like this.
Yeah. So, mine was a good 3, and then it would go and come back a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, you probably would, but you don't give yourself that space or that time on your own.
They say you can do it with like meditation and breathing, but you'd have to be doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Or just take 4 or 5 grams of mushrooms and you're there, mate.
Yeah.
So, like, not on as big a scale as what you guys are in reference to, but I've had some life-changing moments within my life that have had the similar impact, but they were traumatic. They were like potentially, or maybe it's just such strong emotion that maybe it's got that similar feel. So, like when my housemate died in a car accident, it's like it triggered my whole life perspective changed. Yeah. Like, I went probably a bit too far in that direction. Went down the hippie, bloody, spiritual, bloody, Buddhist mindset sort of thing. But it triggered something, and it was fucking severe trauma, like severe sadness or something. But for whatever it was, that was a point I still remember. And I feel like potentially you're tapping into some similar sort of emotional changes. I can't explain what I've experienced.
But that would just be a shifting of perspective, I think.
Looking at life a different way.
Yeah, and isn't that exactly what doing this is doing?
Like,
it's just changing, it's shifting a perspective. It's an altered state. It's making you realise, fuck.
Yeah, but that's an external event that's happening to you as opposed to an internal realisation, I think.
Yes.
So it's similar but different, I would imagine.
The trigger for me to look internally has been because of that. Is that, do you think? Or,
I think that if you're on mushroom, I don't even think that it's your own thing. I think that the mushrooms are their own.
Collective
like fungi is just a different, what's the word I'm looking for? Intelligent.
It's their way of communicating.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever had a mushroom, like more mushrooms have shown up while being on it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize, I had mushrooms and I went and watched Super Mario Brothers, and the whole movie is about how him eating a mushroom changes his whole life. And I was like, fuck. And at the end, it's like, it was the mushrooms. And then he goes, it's all over. And then for some reason, Toad or whatever comes and goes, but is it? And I was like, oh. Fuck. And then another time I was just by myself and like watching that Netflix series Beef.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a whole scene on mushrooms and how it's important to have and then it has no reference for the rest of the movie. And it's not magic mushrooms, just talking about these. I'm like, every single time I've done it, or like when I was in the shower and I had that revelation, I had like a real bad, like almost like a rash from running. So like a fungus in my armpit. So I'm on mushrooms. It's burning, man. So I'm having a shower and I'm like, the mushrooms are going, just talk to it. It's a fungus. Just say, hey man, I know you're just trying to live, but you're really making me uncomfortable. And I'm visualizing the water washing away. And then I start laughing because I'm fucking on fungus, talking to fungus. I drop to the bottom of the shower and there's black fungus on the bottom of the shower. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? The fungus has made me talk to the fungus. And I'm looking at the fungus. I've got it all figured out. And then I just have a moment of realization where I'm laughing, crying, looking at the toilet on the floor of a shower. Like, you don't know fucking anything. You've got nothing figured out. You're just the same as ever. And I was like, oh my God, we are the same. I'm having this revelation. Which really meant nothing now, but at that point in time, it was ego death, and I was like, I'm nothing. I'm just the same as everything else.
Well, there's interesting about fungus. There is intelligence there. Now,
I think so.
You could suggest maybe you could go further than what and go on the path of what you're talking about. But they're just in regards to maybe it's just like the path of least resistance it follows. But like you see the fungus rearrange the Tokyo.
Yeah.
Grid line for its train systems and make it more efficient. And you're like, how does it? And again, maybe it's just because that's life. It's just like we find the path of least resistance and makes it better. But
it's pretty impressive.
It's also quite intelligent.
What were the name of? Do you know what the name of the mushrooms that you had were?
I don't think you can go past penis envies.
Yeah, those were the ones I had as well.
they're like top of the wazza.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Penis
envy.
envy.
It's just the
They
brand
look
or
like
the
they look like a
sport.
penis,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they're definitely the most potent.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, they'll definitely shoot you.
That's what I had the first couple of times.
Yeah, there's heaps of different strains, and they try and cross. Not that I'm an expert, but they try and cross breed different ones and have different.
I tried that in Tasmania. It didn't work too well.
I think
That
I'll
was
wait.
with people though. Yeah.
I think I'll do a heroic dose soon. Maybe I can get you to help me, Delby, or something like that. But I'll do it without I don't want my parents to be around. Like, just moved.
Just wait till you.
And actually, on that, Mum's home today.
Yeah.
Like, literally, what's the time? She'll be home now.
Nice.
She finally, she got the news yesterday. Like, we were waiting. They said this week she's going to be out.
Give us some mushrooms, man.
Mate. I'm pretty good.
Actually, give your dad some mushrooms, Ray. That might fucking help a little bit, like with the scenario and the situation.
I agree. Yeah. No, man, that's been such a great little thing at the moment. It's just everything. I had these last few weeks where everything's just like nothing can get in my way at the moment. It's just everything I touch turns to gold. And that was another situation where I was like, it's getting hard, it's getting tough, and it's just now that's...
Yeah, sick.
That's
all
so
clear?
good.
Everything's cleared up.
All clear.
Sick.
Just, I think they need a couple of little checkups in the next week or two just to double check everything. But she's home and she'll probably head over to Thailand again.
Really?
Yeah, she loves it. They love it, mate. And mate,
what happens with insurances and stuff? Is it
be more expensive?
Yeah.
Or I just said, if anything happens,
fucking fly
jump straight on a plane. Worst
Yeah.
case scenario, you get a visit with your grandchildren and your kids. So
nice.
I see that as a win.
Oh, mate, 100%. So been a pretty hard fucking slog for the last 7 months, but she's done well, man. She's a warrior.
Trooper.
But yeah, as soon as she's gone, I'm going to get lit.
Did you have your first lot when you were fighting or after? Had you stopped boxing and then did it?
No, I think I was still competing. I don't know. I don't even know when. It would have been a few years ago. Probably 3-4 years ago. First experience. And prior to that, I'd done no drugs whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's
what made you see? That's interesting to me because when I was younger, I was very, very anti-drugs, all sorts of drugs, all forms of drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys are fucking dumb.
We both were, because we were both like in that
trying
sports thing. Yeah.
And there's a moment of realization where everything in moderation is not the worst. And it's not going to fucking kill you unless you're extremely, extremely unlucky. But what was your shift in mindset going from a clean skin?
I was just a bit lost as an individual. I was going through some mental battles here and there, like just lost. And a mate of mine who I respect a lot had done a fair bit of it, and pretty much they said to me, "Hey, have a read of this book." And I was like, "Oh, I fucking hate reading." So I actually got on Audible and just listened on Audible.
Yeah,
and
Audible's great.
Within the first 20 minutes, I was like wow. Like, I really want to listen to this, And then I pretty much finished it within a couple of days. So I just got so hooked on it. And then I just messaged him and said, "When are we doing this, man? Like, I want you to be my shaman." I want you to run me through it.
Do you think fighting, boxing, being the hard man had become your identity, and that's potentially what?
It definitely is. And what I don't know, what happens when I don't do it anymore? Like, I do have my gym, and it is a big part of my life, and it's obviously where I get my income, and I obviously enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if I'm not fighting anymore and not competing anymore, like, who am I?
Yeah.
And it's a standard thing. I've heard it on your podcast before with other football players and stuff like that. And I don't think you have to be an athlete to have that aspect. I think it could be any shift in life that is really pushing you down a different path or taking something away from somebody. Yeah. And then, I don't know, who are you?
Yeah. I seen Volk at the end of his. See him get all emotional. Did you see that?
Yeah, I reckon he's battling some demons.
Yeah, and it felt like, because he said, "I need to be active. I need this. This is me. Like, I need to be fighting." And it felt like,
well, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, it felt like he'd put all of his happiness within training for this, because I understand that, like, the training for something difficult is very motivating. It's fucking awesome. I love it. And I think you even spoke about it on your last podcast with us. You talked about the training camp's incredible because you're working towards something. You actually love that more than the fight itself.
I say it all the time. Like, fighting is a great aspect, and I obviously do it, or most people do it because they enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
But, like, for myself, I enjoy the process. I enjoy the journey. I enjoy the early runs. I enjoy the ups and downs. I enjoy the good sessions, the bad sessions, the learning along the way, all the journey to get there. And then, to punch someone in the face at the end is obviously great. But that's definitely what I would miss the most. So just the journey of everything that's gone on. Yeah, that'd be the sad thing.
Well, maybe that's what mushrooms is. Similar experiences, because training for a fight, you're learning about yourself, what you can do, what your limits are. And doing a mushroom trip, you're learning about yourself, but in a slightly different way. So, fighting can be an outlet.
Self-realization
is an outlet.
I fear that I'm trying to replace any sort of aspirations with ultras and these stupid challenges and stuff. I feel like, if I stop doing them,
but don't you feel
I
don't know. I applaud you for that, because it's you. I don't know. I'm big on working towards something or pushing towards something or challenging yourself. Or why are you here? What are you doing if you're not going to do something? Not that it has to be physical for some people, but you really want to live life just coasting through, dude. You're not here for a long time. You're really not.
Yeah. That saying. So what you just said can be flipped the other way. People go, you're not here for a long time. You only live once. Go and drink and fucking get. Yeah, and I get that.
Can you not quote me on my own podcast?
No, you say it sometimes, but you understand. You're self-aware enough to understand that that's not life. But I won't say who, but I have people close to me who's like, nah, I don't want to be a fucking 80-year-old fucking sitting there unable to move. I'd rather live fast, die young sort of thing. And in my head, I'm like, wouldn't you just rather live the best possible life you can and the best version of yourself that's going to feel as best as it can?
Don't you feel like it's about experiences?
Yes, exactly. It's all about experiences.
Except for pegging, I don't want to.
Well, you never know.
I'm pretty big on just keeping my butthole closed for that one.
But
maybe.
It's just one of those. It's just one of those things where I'll say it. Even my dad will say it. He'd be like, no, you only live once. And I'll be like, well, yeah, but don't you want to live the easiest way possible? If you eat like shit and drink all the time, your knees are going to be sorer. You're going to feel like shit for 3 days after. You're going to...
But at that time, it's probably worth it.
Yeah. See,
at that moment,
but that doesn't mean...
Give me that Krispy Kreme, boy.
See, and that doesn't mean there's not room for that. And nothing in absolutes, like I've said plenty of times on the podcast, and you just spoke about everything in moderation. But doesn't mean you only live once means fuck it, I'm gonna just get fucked up. You only live once means also if I get fucked up, that means I can't go climb that mountain tomorrow. I can't. I can't fucking play with my daughter tomorrow. And these are experiences.
Wow, if you're David Goggins, you could.
I purchased a life calendar.
Okay.
Aren't they just called calendars?
It's a A3 poster that I purchased off Amazon.
Yeah.
And it was quite confronting when I got it, because you essentially, at the end of each week, you circle off a week that you've been alive. So I picked a year that I want to live to. So I'm born in 88. I thought, shit, I'd like to live to 88. I got this idea of, not Huberman, it's the other one.
Lex Friedman?
No, not Lex Friedman. Oh, my God.
Joe Rogan.
No.
What is it, like a scientist guy?
He's a scientist guy. Oh, my God. It's going to annoy me now. Anyway, he...
Rocco? What's his name?
Is he another one that's always on?
Jocko.
No, not Jocko. No. Anyway, oh, my God, it's going to annoy me now. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Hate that. When it's just sitting at the front of your cortex.
Is it the guy he's on Rogan sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a podcast called The Drive.
Right. I'll quickly check for you.
Yeah, cool.
He essentially, I listened to one of his podcasts that he did, and I just went down this rabbit hole of that. And it's essentially you rub off the weeks that you were alive, and you can...
Peter Attia?
Peter Attia, I see. And pick a point that you want to live to, and then he pretty much has a point of his practice where he says, your final decathlon, the last 10 years of your life, and he says to people, what do you want to do in the last 10 years of your life, or what do you want to be capable of doing? And most of the time, most people say, I still want to be able to pick up like my grandkids and be able to be functional with my grandkids. I still want to be able to function, i.e. I feed myself and go to the toilet and whatever else. And I think the other one was I think the other one, I don't know what the other one was. I think it was like still be able to go to the shops or like be able to not necessarily drive, but still be able to get around and stuff. And he can actually somewhat mathematically work backwards from there what you want to do, and you've got to be able to match certain numbers in the gym to be able to do that. And he can actually pretty pinpoint close to what you need to be able to do that. And yeah, I got this calendar, and it was quite confronting just to look at it and go, wow,
like it's a visual.
Well, we're probably already nearly halfway.
I'm really not here for a long time.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
a visualization of what you.
So each week I go with my little texter and I circle off a little.
It's kind of
circle.
it's a bit morbid though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And it just makes. And I've got a couple of little red points there that some things that I want to try and do and try and achieve, and between certain times. And I look at that and I just go, oh fuck, I really don't have. Like I look at that and I go, oh yeah, cool, I got 10 years to do that.
Yeah.
But you look at the lines. No, it's really not. It's really not a long time.
Because
it is morbid. Oh my God, it's so morbid.
Yeah.
Get on it.
But it's good because it wakes you up a bit.
Oh, put a fire up my ass.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to live to, but I'm like 65. I'm cool, man. If I'm still single, I'm happy with like nothing past 65.
Yeah.
Because fucking all my mates will be with their wives or dead.
No. I don't know if you see the old blokes that go down and play chess down at the shores and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll all be trying to get away from them. Yeah. So you'll have your friends back.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe have games day, lawn bowls. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the same as setting goals. If you don't set goals, you just float by, man. You just literally like.
I feel like setting goals is great, but there's just no. I don't feel like you allocate a timeline on it.
Yes.
So you write all these great goals and all these aspirations that you want to do, but there's no real urgency to it. I'm a visual person. When I walk through my walk-in robe, when I leave, I look at that calendar very regularly and I go, man, I'm running out of time here. I'm really running out of time here. And it kind of just gets me moving a little bit quicker on certain things in my life.
Yeah.
Is that for everyone? Maybe not, but it's working for me.
It doesn't necessarily mean everyone has to live their life like that. But for me, like I'm the same. I like experiences. I like trying to experience, even if I don't like it. Like, give it a go.
Yeah.
Comedy was one that I was so afraid to try, for example.
I don't know, you say that, but there's so many things where I go, do you want to get, nah, doesn't interest me at all. But that's just how you type.
Yeah,
like, it's fucking annoying. You're like, nah, got this instead.
But like, I'd rather experiences. So I'd rather like, I'd rather try, like, and a perfect example is comedy. I'm so scared of trying it because it's hard, scary. And then you love it. Like you end up going, fuck, that thrill is pretty incredible. But it's also like the first time I was like, I have no interest in climbing a mountain. And I got to the top, my first one, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Like it just felt different. And then but for someone else, they might not like that. But you don't know it until you experience it. And then you might do it and go,
all right. Turns out pegging's back on the cards.
That's the thing. Like not pegging, but like
you might like it.
You might like it. Look, there's some things I'd be like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with a good prostate massage.
Yeah. Well, it's for your health, and it can check. If Huberman does it, I'll do it. But yeah, I mean, I've got my goals on the back of my door.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't have written them down, because I've got it for what I want each year.
Keeps you on track.
What I really need to do is like a 5-year one and break it down. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have toured my teacher comedy night over East recently. And like that has flipped my perspective from dropping down, doing weddings and doing more touring. So the reason I did that, it literally, I was like, man, what's my goals? I was like, teacher comedy night over East. Why haven't I done it? I was like, I have no good reason why I haven't tried it. So I was like, righto, fucking hit up Brisbane. Gonna do teacher comedy night. He goes, yeah, let's do it. Put it on. Sold out 2 shows. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I've done Brisbane. While I'm over there, why don't I try Sydney and Cairns? And I did that. Sold out almost every show except for Gold Coast. I was like, fuck yeah, man. Now I'm going to go back. Hell good feedback. And it's opened up this whole new avenue and aspect of A, income, which is awesome, but B, experience and something to do. And then when I was in Cairns with Marsh talking about doing experiences, I've realised all my great stand-up comes from doing experiences and sharing my thoughts as that happens, like simple shit, like the most basic stuff, going on an airplane. Yeah. Like you've got those thoughts. And when you relay that experience, people resonate with that. So like decided to go diving on the Great Barrier Reef, take my dive introductory course. I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't have flipped my mindset and gone, I'm going to do these experiences so I can share them and see.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily mean you do them again, but some of them you might go, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to do that. And that one you go, look, I'm glad I experienced it, but it's not for me.
Yeah. Even going to the WWE when it comes.
I think a lot of people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year.
Yeah.
You know, like just
that's a fucking good,
That's so true.
Because
Flip
like,
that.
Yeah, I've set some goals, and like one of the physical goals, or physical challenge goals, is the ultra stuff that I'm really enjoying.
Yep,
is to do the Sahara 250 in the next 3 years. Now I said it to like last year. I was like, I want to do it next year, and I was like,
it's hard, man.
Don't be a fucking dickhead. You'll die. Literally, the people. I think it's like on average a person a day dies in that one, so that one's pretty challenging. But it's one I went like, no, that's actually a fucking. That is a goal.
So you're going to be the African sponsor child.
See, even like I feel like can we talk about our potential little run that we
definitely.
I was thinking about that, right?
Yeah.
I feel it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
I feel like
it'll be the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm aiming for 22
feel like
Ks.
I feel like we could spice it up with something.
What do you want to spice it up with?
I don't know.
So for those
I'm keen.
that are new listeners,
like I like the aspect of that.
Where we are going to do 50 Ks and a pint at each pub. But Wes has done fucking, I don't know, you've probably ran a marathon while getting pegged.
No, so I did something somewhat similar through like gym challenges I did for my gym. And that was run 50 Ks and I had to go to 5 different pubs and scull a beer at each pub.
Yeah.
But I had to do it in a pair of thongs.
Yeah.
So I did that a couple of years ago. And that
so this is nothing to you.
No, but I'm saying but I'm saying the aspect of doing it in the thongs, one was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And two was freaking challenging, you know. Like I went through a few pairs of thongs and busted my feet up a fair bit, but I feel like we could do something like whatever we could.
I know what you can do.
Can we level it though? So like, because some of our listeners want to join. So like, base level we can run and thing. I'm aiming for a half marathon, hopefully to finish with you guys.
Yeah.
But if you just want to level it up,
I've got something that'll level it up.
What do you got?
Now, you talked about this just before the pod, that you'd be very uncomfortable doing this. But
how
about we go down to Swanbourne and run across that beach naked?
Oh, yeah. You said you don't want to get your foreskin out.
Let's do it.
Well, you want to run 50
I don't want to run nude, but I'll run that part of it nude. I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that.
You look uncomfortable doing it. That's a good aspect change.
I thought something like...
You're physical, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm pulling. You have to carry a 20 kilo sack of potatoes, and we can take it in turns or something like.
This guy's a fucking.
We have to push a wheelbarrow with sand in it,
or a person in
it. We can't move any further until someone changes. We have to push a person. I don't know, something along those lines. Something
like a team, almost like an SAS team challenge.
Well, so we can take it in turns.
Okay.
Something. You know?
I like the idea.
Well, because it's for army vets and legacy.
Yeah.
Maybe we do something symbolic of like what they have to carry when they come home, or an army pack or something.
Yeah. I just thought we could
really
spice
up
it a little
so
bit. You know?
Maybe listeners give us what can we carry? Yeah. Maybe we can carry something. I like the idea of a wheelbarrow full of ice. And we put our beers.
I'll definitely be able to run the 50 Ks then
in ice in the wheelbarrow, and that's where we have our.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we do that, and someone has to carry it. Now, I say this right now, fully aware of the fact that I have a calf injury, and I haven't been able to run for the last week and a half. So I'm already shitting myself a little bit. But
maybe like listeners and past guests that are going to join.
Yeah, everyone come and
maybe they like you guys will. Or we'll do a few at the start. Then like people can come and take over like a big team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just do something. I don't know. Just get people a little bit more involved. Not that people aren't involved, but like just
just a pint.
To a lot of listeners, running 12Ks is fucking
a bit different. You know, big left of field that people can feel like, oh yeah, or even people that have listened or are listening, or even people that aren't.
Yeah,
whatever, driving past, going. Are they pushing a wheelbarrow full of whatever? I feel like that'd be a bit more exciting.
All right, so what we need to do is sort of really good wheelbarrow, not the one I have in my garage, because there's a
we don't have to wheelbarrow. We can do anything. I'm just saying something along those lines.
Should we carry a midget?
Oh, that'd be good.
Piggyback.
What, the whole...
a little
the whole
person.
way. The whole way.
Oh, that'd be something like
Carry a
that.
midget?
Would be so good.
Fuck, maybe we should carry a midget.
a little person.
A little person.
Oh
fuck.
No. That's
How often could you say that you carried a midget?
Yeah, but
Just
Like
driving down West Coast Highway. Are they fucking carrying a little person
Oh God!
In a
See, that's what
wheelbarrow?
I'm talking about.
in a wheelbarrow?
yeah. Just like
I do like the
well, instead of a little person, maybe just a kid.
Scotty.
I
I
should
feel
go
like
fucking crazy.
we could get in trouble for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, someone's kid, not like not one. We just grab it on the way.
Okay.
All right. Now the Swanborn leg. It's like okay.
No, I definitely agree. Let's definitely look at.
Fuck, man. For me, 50K's stopping for a pint is the hardest thing I'm ever going to do. So for you guys, you're like, nah, let's level it up. But yeah, let's do it, and then let's like Wes and Branchy do it. No, but we'll share it around, whatever it is. Oh, why don't we just do mushrooms at the start? That'll be pretty hard.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to run. You would not be able to run.
Oh, sounds like you got a quitter attitude, bro. Imagine if they were full performance enhancing, and you could just do it.
No way, not a chance.
That would be harder, right? If you wanted to make it hard.
Probably nah. Oh, you wouldn't be.
What about the second half?
I'm open for anything. But like, that'd be tough. That'd be definitely very tough.
Yeah, fuck, man. Anytime I've done it, I just lie still and fucking go inside.
Yeah,
and it always tells my back always fucking just goes bananas. I don't know if I'm allergic to them or they keep telling me.
I don't think it's a physical attribute that we should try and take.
No.
That's definitely something.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
I think we'll definitely figure something
We'll
out.
throw it out, listeners. Patreon, you guys get first dibs about it for suggestions. And listeners.
I'm distracted for the people watching at home. See, every time I click over, there's a bit of a glitch.
Uh-oh.
So I do apologise for the people watching at home.
The mushrooms are kicking in.
The mushrooms are kicking in. But the audio is quite nice and fine. So all good.
Okay, so we've got to level it up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start thinking esky, wheelbarrow.
I like the esky thing, like carrying our drinks or something like that. Or
aren't we going to a pub?
Yeah, but maybe we don't have to then, and we can just set like points if we're carrying our drinks.
If we set points, then if we're carrying all the piss, then people theoretically should get involved a lot more because we can hand out beer. To people,
and then we just fill it up the wheelbarrow with the new beers.
It's a community aspect that we're bringing.
Well, they can bring the piss to fill up, and it has to be drank before the next point.
Yeah.
See, these are all aspects that spice it up.
Yeah, because if someone drops like a carton off, and we've got 15 runners, before we finish the next point, everyone has to finish whatever's in the wheelbarrow.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Kim. It's just different bits, right?
So
okay.
But if someone drops off a bottle of vodka, within reason.
So actually, what did you find when you did it the first time? Did you find you were cramping or anything? Did you have to carry a camel pack or anything like that?
I carried like one of those, those vest things that you run with.
For hydration.
I took a little bit of water with me. What helped me a lot was just taking salt tablets.
Salt tablets,
that definitely kept me going.
Definitely,
but I wasn't going super quick. I was just trotting along fairly comfortably. The sculling the beer definitely didn't help. Like if I had just sipped it comfortably, it would have been a little bit nicer. But necking it and then trying to run after that, it was pretty putrid.
Yeah, right. Because it's just bloatation.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Okay.
The longest I've ever run in my life was like 14 or 15 Ks with you. So like whatever we do is going to be the hardest and longest running challenge I've ever had.
It's amazing what like the change in mindset when you have you have the longer goal, so 80 kilometers on that thing. For you mentally, I don't think you were like, 14 Ks is not much. So you probably found it a lot easier. But if you were to just go run 14 Ks,
it was tough.
You would have been like, fuck this. So it's interesting how your mindset and your perspective on what you have to do.
Yeah, that's something I need to do is to get over. I know anytime, like when I was younger, if I was trying to train, I'd be thinking, man, you're gonna play AFL, and I'd still I'd give up, man. Like I'd be like, oh nah, fuck it. If I was on my own.
Why don't one of you to do one of those corporate boxing events?
I'd be interested to do it.
I got asked once.
Doesn't it? Don't they slug you with a huge entry fee?
No, it depends on what promotion. I'm not going to say who.
Okay. So I heard one of them was like, I was like, man, that is an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah, so they just there would be two main prominent ones here, but one's definitely significantly cheaper than the other one. But like, I don't know, it's a pretty cool event. Like,
yeah,
pretty nice venue. Like everyone's dressed in the nines. It's pretty definitely like a very they put on a pretty good show.
Yeah. Big ego death because losing in front of that many people would suck.
Yeah, but
imagine winning in front of.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to change your mindset, son.
Yeah. But I know, like, I just know getting up in PP Island was scary enough.
Oh yeah.
Just jumping up against a random German personal trainer.
Yeah,
and then I won, but like it was fucking terrifying.
Same boxing ring. I lost.
Yeah.
Against my best mate.
Maybe there might be something you look at, next year.
Yeah, okay.
The only thing is, you say that because I've said that to him before. I was like, we could do corporate boxing.
Why don't you box each other?
I don't like boxing my friends, man.
Yeah.
So I'll fuck you up, bro.
Well, that was my issue with me, mate. Like, that I was fighting in PP. I too empathetic.
Yeah.
And like if you watch the video clip of me getting knocked out, I'm all over him for a second, and then I go, right, I better get off because I don't want to hurt me mate. And then he fucking clipped me and got me, fucking rocked me, gone.
Yeah, I can't fight against my friends.
Yeah, I'm too empathetic. I'm like that in everything. I'd play backyard cricket against my mates when I was younger, and if I was dominating, I'd lose 2 games in a row if it's like a best of 5 to make sure the last game was at least close. I'd lose it on purpose to make sure.
Maybe boxing. Then
well, if it's against a random, it's a bit different, right?
Yeah. Hey, that ball's in your court, girls.
I'm pretty keen, but the only thing is, I am actually genuinely really into this idea of doing the ultras. Yeah, and I feel like doing that is not going to be conducive to ultras.
Dude, that's it's just going to consume so much of your time.
Yes,
so much. It's like you have to put so much effort and so much time into putting miles in the legs, man.
For ultras or for boxing?
Ultras.
But ultras, like, it's definitely going to take up a lot of time.
Because I want to do this seriously. So the one I'm doing, I signed up for the 80 again. I'm going to do that by myself. A heap of mates have signed up for their teams and stuff, so which is a couple of my best mates are going down there. So it's going to be cool. They're going to aim to do it in about 10 hours. I'm actually going to aim to do it in about 10 hours myself.
Yep.
10 to 11. Hopefully. I did the first time I did it, it was a 13 and a half. So I'm really going to train for this.
Yep.
So
we both know you're not.
What is it?
Yeah.
You say you are, but you ain't.
I've already started.
When is it?
It's
May
11th. May 11th. You've already
12th.
missed out.
Okay.
You've already missed out. Sold out.
Oh, we can go waiting list.
Waiting list. But I genuinely, I want to
give it a red hot dip.
I want to knock this one out of the park. I've already started a lot of different stuff for it.
Hot yoga.
Yeah, that's going to make a big difference. I think Pilates will make a bit of a difference in regards to glute and hamstring strength, which is pretty fucking important for the soft sand. But I'm hitting up Corey for some running programs. I even started last year already. Started doing 400s. I'll get back into that again for some strength.
What about you? Have you done any more crazy challenges, or has it just been fighting?
Not really.
Yeah,
I've had a couple of kids. That's pretty challenging.
Yeah, fucking oath. That's another life perspective change as well. Like, you become 100%. Instantly not the most important part of the world.
And just the lack of sleep just sucks because my son is a knob.
How old is he?
Nearly 8 months.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I've nearly thrown him in the bin a couple of times. It's been a bit challenging. And I've been on full parent duty at night times pretty much since my fight because the missus really held the fort.
Yeah.
Because I needed a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
I know we weren't seeing eye to eye through some of the camp because I was like, I need to rest, man. Like, I can't expect I can't expect this out of my body. I can't expect for my body to produce these, requirements, and I'm not getting adequate rest. I'm just going to hurt myself.
That's
but I want help as well. So we're just button.
That's three episodes in a row where the partner has been the pillar of strength for the person whoever's chasing their dreams.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it without my missus. Like, she's solid, man.
Without
definitely
that selfless.
I'm going to give her a shout out down the camera, and we can
Jenna,
clip it.
Thank you.
All right,
but like without
we'll
that
clip
sort
that
of,
and save that for you.
Without that selfless support from someone, like almost not a security blanket, but I don't know what the word is. But
It's a support team. That's all. It's
it
literally just somebody realizing,
Well,
hey, this is important.
You've got whatever 1, 2,
Sacrifice is the
3,
word.
4 little individuals that are dependent on you.
Have you got 4 kids?
No, I'm just saying, like if you,
yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
2 that I know of.
Yeah.
I've definitely got one in Japan somewhere. And like, we can leave that for another podcast.
yeah.
And I don't know, you got all these little mouths that are just so dependent on you, and you can't give them all of that time and energy that they're requiring because you're trying to try and do something else and trying to aspire to do whatever, whether it be fighting or not. And that's like you said, you need help. You need someone there batting in your corner for you to do that. Someone needs to be able to do that for the kids.
Yeah.
You know?
So a little bit of sacrifice both ways, really, is what you're looking at, a sacrificial partner, and then now it's your turn to sacrifice.
Yeah, so I've had the little bloke last couple of nights, and it's been... I've nearly circumcised myself a couple of times. It's just super challenging at the moment. And I don't, like, I'm normally pretty good with it, but he just... I just don't have a set of tits. I just can't settle him like that. She just gets it out.
Yeah.
And he just stops.
I feel the same way around women. I just settle when there's a titty.
Some of those nights where they just won't settle. And I'm a loving father, but fuck, man,
he's just, and he's teething and
well, you give hey, buddy, I've been teething. You got nothing on me.
I'm interested when you one day have kids. What?
I don't think I will.
I'm interested as to how you would.
It's hard to get pregnant when you come in a condom
I'm
in your hand.
I'm interested to know how you'd handle it because it's considering your current lifestyle, like the amount of work you do.
I wouldn't do it unless I was prepared. And right now, I am at the peak of I feel something big.
Yes.
So it would be silly for me.
You'd be sacrificing something.
I would be resentful.
You wouldn't just be sacrificing something. You'd be sacrificing
everything.
Probably not everything, but you'd be sacrificing a multitude of.
And if I was to have a child now, I'd need a partner that would be there and supportive of me, and I don't have that.
So what you're trying to say is do everything.
Yeah.
So, it's just not in the cards right now. So
just fine.
Yeah, and I don't have a desire to have a child. At this point in time.
Yeah.
So I've got a nephew and like it's cool to go visit and
how
play.
Good is it to hand him back though?
Yeah. He's super happy. Like he's full.
I don't think
seeing how chill he is like, oh, maybe my kid will be chill like that. But then I'm like, hang on, it's got my brain.
And it's also chill for a bit. But you're never ready ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I totally agree
ready.
With that. Never ready.
It just you just get
I just
this thing gets thrust upon you, and you're like,
that's what happens to the girls.
They send you home,
singles,
and you're like, what the fuck? Like I'm supposed to look after this thing now. How? Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like what am I meant to do? And
fuck, bro. Even holding my nephew, like, and he was like dribbling. I'm like, is he choking? To fix it.
When I first had a kid, I was very much the cautious, holding, and then like after a while, you realize, fuck, like they don't break.
Pick it up by the back.
They're pretty resilient,
like a kitten.
Now I get my mates' kids, and they're like, bang, straight in the arm. I'm like, it's all good, it's easy. So it's just.
But I feel like if I was to have one at this point, I'd feel resentful. When you always hear like, oh, I was going to be big and then I had the kids and fucking every single one of my mates that's have kids is like, Delbs, man, don't have kids. Like they all say,
no, I disagree.
Don't have kids.
Yeah, I definitely disagree.
I disagree with that.
Except for these two.
Yeah.
All my crew, man, they're always like, fuck, bro, like honestly, man, don't have kids. I'm like,
Scotty was probably the reason that motivated me to get out of my work so I could be there more often. And I wanted to be better for her. I didn't want her to grow up having this dad that preached chase your dreams and stuff and didn't do it himself. I totally disagree.
I think they're probably saying that because they're looking at your life thinking, oh, yeah, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
You always think your grass is greener on the other side. But if you ask any one of your mates, hey, take one of your kids away, I reckon they would say no way.
100%,
So they're probably talking a tough game maybe to sound cool in front of you.
I think so.
And maybe aspiring or maybe someone a little bit jealous of the way you're living your life because they know they will never ever be able to have that or never ever have the opportunity probably to be able to go down that path that you're having.
Yeah.
But that's your path that you've chosen to have. So I know I'm just speaking hypothetically here, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I felt like throwing my fucking son in the bin last night. Well, sorry, this morning. But like, if you asked to take him away, I would no way. Like,
100%.
I wouldn't do that. I
Yeah.
would.
There's such a driving motivation behind them. I think
Massively,
they make you want to be a better version of yourself. And
Maybe I do need to have a kid.
Yeah,
then.
well, I think it levels you out in ways that you sometimes wouldn't have been, and like straight away. Like if someone wants to go out and drink piss on a Saturday night, if I've got Scotty, like depends. Like I might go yes, rarely, but most of the time I'll be like, yeah, well, I've got to get up and be a dad the next day, so it'll stop me from doing that. But then I'll go for a jog or
priorities change.
Yeah,
Life, switches. Nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with it.
Nothing
yeah.
wrong with it.
And that doesn't mean
as a single bloke, it's so frustrating to hear that though.
yeah.
Like if I'm like,
And
bro,
I get
let's
it.
go,
Like,
let's
I-
go,
yeah,
fucking,
I
we
get
got
it.
Halloween. You're like, nah, I got.
But once
gotta be a dad.
you
Like,
realize,
sick.
because you haven't experienced being a dad, you'll be like, oh fuck, that's another experience. I didn't realize I was going to love that so much. Like it's fucking.
The biggest one,
but
though-
you do get the fuck. Oh, you
Yeah.
lads are out today, and I wish I could do it, but I'm stuck here. Like that does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't.
The biggest one that shits me that I thought I would never actually change my way of living or how I operated was, I'd have friends that say, no, I can't come at that time because
yeah.
he needs to have his nap at this time, whatever. And I'd be like, mate, run your life however you want to run your life. Don't let this kid dictate you.
Yeah.
Now I'm in that position. I'm like, no. my daughter needs to go home for her nap. And now I look at me sometimes and go, man, who cares? Like, live your life. I can tell they're looking at me how I looked at that.
Yeah.
And I just go, you got no idea. If my kid doesn't have a fucking nap,
Yeah.
it's like the Exodus here. Like, we're going home. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care what you say. My life and my happiness is way more important than what you think of me right now.
100%.
My daughter doesn't have a rest, then someone's going to die. So like, we're going home. So that would be,
That's so funny because that's how I feel when
Yeah.
my mate's like, oh, we got to go now.
I'll
I got
go
the
home
kids.
rest.
I'm like, who gives a fuck, bro?
Live your
Let 'em
life, man.
Or
Live your
like,
life.
get your mum to look after them. They're sleeping, bro. You don't need to be there when they're sleeping.
Yeah. And the one I noticed, the one when I really noticed it was over in Thailand. So we don't do midday naps or anything anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself. I
I
got
do,
no
though.
help. Yeah.
my 30s, I still have naps.
And like I became the best friend. I became the friend that had to play with her in the pool all day and stuff like that. I was on a holiday. So I was fucking exhausted. But we'd push through and I'd be like, we're on holiday. It's fuck. She can stay up. She can do whatever you want. You get to 7 o'clock, you're running around trying to find some food and she's chucking a shit fit. And I'm like, fuck, I should have given her a nap during the day. Like,
Yeah.
And then you realise, not just for her, I needed that fucking nap. I was exhausted. So like, sometimes you just have to do it because it just makes everything else easier. Unfortunately. What do they call it? Delayed gratification.
Yeah. I call it Viagra. What I was going to ask you, because we haven't even spoke really about your achievement. So you've won
I was talking about bloody
2 fights in a row, right?
I have one.
I'm trying to
fights in a
circle
row.
back.
Yep.
And then is that what's the pathway? What's the
I
goal?
would like to get a shot at the title.
That's all right. Keep talking.
Yep.
I'd like to get a shot at the belt.
Yep.
If and when that happens, who knows? I just want to. I'm not putting any expectations out there. Look, I know how this game works. There's politics in anything you do, and there's ladders that you need to get through, and I understand that. But I feel like I've well and truly earned my stripes in a lot of aspects here. But some people don't seem to think so in other aspects. But
Because what's
Kiss my
your
ass.
weight range?
so this is the thing. With the MMA weights, they're quite far apart. Okay,
Right.
so the weight limits that I would be close to would be 70 kilos or 77, which is lightweight or welterweight.
Yep.
The last one was at welterweight, but it was meant to be a super lightweight, which is not really a weight division. It's just a made up weight division that they're just trying. It's like a catch weight kind of thing. It's
Right.
meant to be like around 74 kilograms.
Okay.
So that one was my first one back that I did, and that one was good, and I made that fairly comfortably. But I'm just not big enough to fight at welterweight. Like I do a bit of training with Jack Della and a few of the guys down at Scrappy.
Yep.
And he's just so much bigger than me.
Yeah.
Like height wise, I'm not too small.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's fucking broomsticks thicker than me, man.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
quite a thick dude, So
Yeah.
I'm not a large. Do I need to be large? Yes and no. I'm not. Weight doesn't necessarily win you fights standing up, but when you're on the ground and wrestling, like weight matters, man.
Massive,
like
eh?
definitely weight
Yeah.
matters. So I'm gunning to get down to lightweight, which is 70 kilos, and that's what I want to try and get down to.
So if you can be a big lightweight,
I would be quite significantly big.
Yeah,
with a very small doodle but big foreskin.
Maybe you need circumcised to help with the weight cut.
That's a lot. Cut it straight off.
Just done.
But
just lose a kilo.
I'd like to get to but just fat boy problems. And I'm a little bit older now, so the last time I was at that weight was probably 10 years ago. So can I make it? I know I can. Oh yeah.
And age is not really a thing for MMA and boxing.
Not as much.
Right?
Not as much.
Yeah.
Not as much.
What, mid-30s is still, you're in your prime from 30s to early 40s, right?
Oh, late 30s, I'd say. Depending on how you look after your body. Who knows? Man, I'm just having fun. I can't do it forever. I'm just going to keep swinging. And like the guys that I have been matched up to fight are, some of the top ones here in the country, and they're shitting their pants and not doing it. And then the people that they are getting me, I'm lighting up. And I don't feel like a knob saying that. So I feel like I've got the credentials to get far enough.
What's your ground? What's your BJJ like? Because have you come into that late? How long have you been training BJJ? Or like
I'm still a white belt with I think I've got 3 stripes or something.
Because you'd be versing dudes that have come up their whole life.
Yeah, I'm not a total crab. Like I'm all right. Yeah. We'll see. Hey, give me a wrestler. Give me a wrestler. Someone take the fight, you pussies. We'll see. I'm not a total crab on the ground. I am all right. Yeah, definitely better standing up. I'd rather keep it standing up, but we'll see how we go. But next one's in February. Well, that's the next one here in Perth.
For Eternal?
And I'd like to get on that card, and we'll see how we go. I've pretty much, not that I put the hard word on the promoter, but I've said, hey, look, next one I'll actually get to lightweight so I can actually campaign at that weight. Yeah. And then surely if I get past that person, whoever that person is, surely you get me a title shot after that. Right. Like you can't deny me one. You can't say that I haven't earned my stripes or something, I've had... How
many fights do you need typically for a title shot? I mean, you've done your time with all your boxing, but
there's no set number.
It's just whatever.
It's just like anything. You could fight the right person, which gives you the right outcome here. And
because from what I heard Benny Vickers saying on the Reapers podcast was that a lot of guys want to protect their record and they'll dodge.
Yeah, so I don't really care.
Guys.
So I'm willing to.
And that's what promoters love, right? They will fight anyone, do whatever.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I feel like even the guy that I fought on the weekend, I really had no idea what he was going to. I hadn't seen any footage. I didn't know what he was like. He took the fight on 3 days' notice, which I said before. Hats off to him for having the balls to take that.
Yeah. How did you win? Knockout?
Knockout, yeah. So, I had not really much of an inkling of what he did. All I got told was that he was a multiple national taekwondo champion with a heap of kickboxing fights. So that just told me that he was going to be a good kicker.
Yeah.
And essentially I thought he's just going to probably throw a shitload of kicks. And what does kick do? Kicks tire you out. So if I just put enough pressure on him, make him feel uncomfortable, make him feel a bit claustrophobic, don't really commit too much. I didn't want to. I just want to see what he did. Threw some pretty fancy kicks, and some of them nearly missed me.
Like Joe Rogan spinning heel kicks and shit.
Yeah, like he's pretty fancy with some of his kicks. I got some of the photos where I was like, damn, why can't I kick like that? And then just applied enough pressure and set up a couple of traps.
Need to be more flexible. The dollhouse,
correct. Yeah. And I am constantly trying to improve on that. Trust me,
mushrooms are helping you.
Oh man, if anything, I'm definitely trying to be more conscious with the people I'm with. But the stretching is definitely something I need to improve on. But just applied enough pressure, and then just set a couple of traps.
Yeah,
chestnut checkers.
It's so scary.
And then I heard him, and then didn't let him off and put him away.
Playing roulette with your consciousness is always scary.
Yeah. Oh, can I actually tell a story about that?
Yeah, of course.
It really annoyed me afterwards, right? So we've gone out the back. Wayne, go out to the change room. We all high five, have showers naked, scrub each other's backs, whatever, And then I leave, and then I went, I knew where his change room was. So then I went to go past his change room to say, let's see how he is. And hey, man, how you going? Obviously it's a violent and malicious sport, but I don't really wish any ill intent on anybody that I've really ever fought. Like, I obviously would like to hurt you in some respect, but after it's all said and done, I'd like to see you're okay.
Yeah.
So I went in there to see if he's all right, and he's a little bit dazed, a little bit busted, not too bad, But he kicked me a few times in my leg, and my leg was pretty damn sore. So I had like big bit of ice on my leg and strapped around. And like he was just a bit of a knob. Just like, oh, hey, man. I was like, hey. And he's like, oh, your leg. And he's like, and then there's 2 other people in the change room. And I was like thinking to myself,
your consciousness.
I didn't know how to take it. I was a bit taken back to begin with. I was like, I've come in here, man. Like I've almost put my guard down a fair bit here and come in here quite openly,
graciously.
Hey, man, like how are you? You know, he goes, oh, I'm good. And then he just kind of looked down. Oh, your leg, your leg. And then he wanted to get photos. And then he took photos of my leg.
What the fuck?
And then he grabbed one of the people that were there, and then he got them to take photos. And then he goes, make sure you get the leg in. Make sure you get the leg in. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, yeah, cool. Pretty sure he just got knocked the fuck out. Like, do you see me laughing at you about that? You knobhead? You should just annoyed
take
me.
get a photo where he's knocked out and send it to him.
Oh, it just irked me a little bit. Like, you're
he sounds like was he Vanderlei Silva?
No, he's Italian. He's from Italy, so he had like a little bit of an Italian. Like
I hate those
accent.
dirty walks.
But you
it's probably my cousin.
Did you remained calm and?
No, I was calm. I was like, this guy. Maybe it's a language barrier
potentially,
but I didn't really think so. He speaks like this. He's just a little bit of an accent. You know, it just sounds like one of the blokes down at the Balcata Market or something. You know?
Yeah.
But like, I was like.
He's probably got concussion where he doesn't know that.
Are
he's
you
been
really
knocked
laughing at my leg with some ice on it?
Yeah.
Fucking goose.
Yeah.
You just got knocked to another dimension, you knobhead. What are you on about? Like,
I sent you to the back of the couch.
And this is that's the thing, like, not that I've been in that situation before, but when people are like that or arrogant, when you realise you could have said or done something else yourself, you just have to laugh and just go, mate.
Oh, whatever, man.
You have to sort of move
what
past.
What does it matter?
Like, just go, whatever. You're that sort of person? Like, whatever.
Yeah, I take situations like that and I go, how would I have done things differently? And that's another thing I've got off Peter O'T. You got to listen to Peter O'T. He's great. He's got a thing where he's like, you know, more so with his kids, young kids, he says, you know, this situation you have at hand, how, you know, take yourself to when you're 80 years old and you know, pretty much can't really do much anymore or whatever else. And he says you get one situation, one more life experience in the past, and this is it right here, right now. How do you play it out? And that plays in my head a lot lately. Just not even just with my kids, just in general with that. I actually thought that process. I thought about just getting a little bit annoyed at him. Yeah. But I thought, hang on. What's the best outcome in this situation? Probably the best outcome here is just really not to care because I've just knocked him out anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah. And if he wants to pump his ego up and make himself feel better about him kicking me in the leg, that's fine. That's cool.
That's something that we've preached on here a lot is like you never allow the external to take control of how you're reacting.
Yeah.
You look at inwards and you go, okay, well, I'll take fault at it or I'll see.
Sometimes that's hard though. Sometimes
it's so hard.
Oh yeah. It's not, it doesn't necessarily mean like we're not perfect like that, but I'll react sometimes, but sometimes I'd be the same. I'll be like, no, don't, just because that guy's being an asshole, don't change the person you are and become an asshole back. Like,
it's very hard if you know you're right.
Oh, very hard.
And they're like, I said this, especially girls, like partners.
Wow, women.
Like
dirty, filthy.
like when they are swearing that they're right, but you know that you're right.
Oh, thank God you're
it's
single.
Like,
yeah. So you
got to be like, okay, fine, maybe you thought that. However, and then you go, it's not even worth saying one thing. You just go, all right.
What's worse is when you go, okay, yep, I was wrong.
Yeah.
This is it. And you're just trying to be, and then they go, see, and then they fucking double down. You're like, mate.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. I was fucking just being nice, you motherfucker.
I do that. Look, I was wrong. Even though I'm not, I was wrong, I'll fix it.
But then potentially...
No. Triggers them.
Potentially, that's because it's not real. Maybe.
Yeah, but at the same time, you just go, look, maybe I was wrong. And then it's because they know that you're not wrong.
Yeah, so I've been in situations where, and I probably didn't handle this the correct way. If I was having an argument back in the day, like when I was married, like sometimes I'd become self-aware enough to realise I'm making this argument way worse. And then I'd go,
100%, but you double down.
Okay,
you're
no.
No, but I'm like that. I get too egotistical, or I just refuse to like let the flag down. You know.
So what would be?
And then she takes a photo of you.
And
I just don't think it's healthy, and I know I can see myself doing it. It's almost like I say to myself, like it's almost like not an out of body experience, but I can hear and see and see the things I'm saying to my wife or even people that I'm close to, and I'm sitting here openly saying to myself in my head, "You're a fucking dick.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes,
this is not necessary. You are taking this to a position that you do not need to take it to, but you're choosing to.
Yes.
Why?
Because it feels good.
Why are you doing this? Does it? I don't know whether it does. And then instantly, as soon as I somewhat finish a sentence or say something that I kind of a little bit regret, I just go,
"Fuck, sorry."
And I feel super sorry. When normally I wouldn't in the past. I would just double down and no, I'm right. But no, I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. I'm getting a little bit older now, and maybe kids are softening me. I don't know. But I look at it and I go, I need to play this better, but I'm not.
It's probably the mushrooms on the podcast.
I'm willingly just digging myself a hole that I just don't need to go down.
I think when you feel that way and you've reacted, it does feel good, even though you know it's going to be bad.
Repercussions.
You just go, "Oh, you fucking dumb cunt," and then immediately like, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But by doing that, you get it out, and then you feel better for that 1 second, and immediately after you're like, "Fuck,
but then I feel like it doubles down and gets worse on the other end of it." I don't know, man.
But it just takes a little bit because it's that
I
frontal.
feel like it'd have to be an element of self-sabotage. There has to be an element of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
So like you consciously, willingly continue to keep digging yourself a hole, and you know you're doing it.
Yeah. So I don't know what that is.
It's that ego protecting fault from yourself. You don't want to be the one that's fucked the situation, so you just throw it back at the other person.
Extreme ownership.
So what my issue before was, and it wasn't just with like Steph and arguments or anything like that. It'd be like with just anyone that you'd have a disagreement with. I'd realise I'm contributing to escalating the situation, and not all the time, but sometimes I'd be self-aware enough to go, right, let's just take a step back and let's look at what this is. Maybe I'm incorrect. Actually, I'm sorry. I didn't realise you felt that way about the way maybe I worded that, or something like along those sorts of lines. And they'd go, not always, and this isn't anyone in particular, but sometimes you'd have someone go, "Oh, don't play the higher ground," and I'll be like,
to be better than
"No,
me.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to," and then that would escalate it again because I'm like, "I'm not fucking trying to. I'm not trying to."
You have to shut it down.
Yeah. So then that's when you just have to walk away and
come back later when you're both calm. But
1,000%. That is the hardest thing to do, but always the best.
Always the best
is to walk away and go, right, let's let things go, and we'll come back. And as long as you're both mature in the situation and come back and go, look, I was fucking what I just said before was
sorry.
Apologise. I didn't realise you felt that way about this. I only said that because I was doing it in jest, or and that's just an example. Or, fuck, I should be more attentive, or whatever it is.
That's literally straight out. If you want another good audio book, and I've plugged it a few times in recent weeks, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, good book.
Yeah.
Got that one as well.
I listened to that. I've listened to it nearly twice through now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's just like you hear it and you go, "That's great," and then you forget. Okay, no. But it's literally like the other person wants to feel some sort of importance.
Yes.
If you can talk to them with their mind set.
Yes.
In your mind, like what are they trying to achieve here? If it's fighting, do they want to be right? Do they want you to acknowledge that they've done something and you're not giving it? So you got to flip it back and do exactly what you've just said, but give them that validation and also try and work your way through what they're trying to get, which is very, very difficult to do, even if you really disagree with them.
Especially me, I'm very like blunt and very quick, and like
you need to fucking fix your text.
Yeah, I can come across like for me, text is shorthand. Like it's like
same.
Just get it done, like just send it, and it'll sound like
I'll read you one.
Fucking whatever, cunt. Like
I'll read you one.
Yeah, okay.
I'll reach out to this cunt. I know that he's training and wants to do different things. I've got offered a free training session at this airlock training. In Balcatta. So I just said to him, "Hey man, do you want to come to this altitude locker training at 4:45? Nah, got trick or treat with Scotty, but not keen regardless. I'll go to AI if I go. I've got a free membership." I was like, "Yeah, this is free when you want. Plus Pilates, yoga, swimming, running. I have enough, and it's all 2 minutes from my house in Wangara." I was like, "Yeah."
And so in my head, that's like
no worries, bro.
No, in my head, it's like the way I sound in my head is, "Nah, I've got Scotty trick or treat tonight." I'm being like, I got too much on. I'm like, I don't need it. Like, and that's how I'm saying it. So if we had this conversation in person, he'd be like, "Yeah, no, all good, bro." But like, and this is not him. This is anyone. And I'll come across as like, "Nah, fuck you. I don't want to do it."
That's how I felt. I was like, "Oh, well, fuck you." But also, I get told that I do that all the time. And my theory and my excuse is when we were in high school and we had text messages, we only had 90 characters.
Yeah.
So try to fill everything in really short.
Yeah.
So be as short as you can. And that's traveled over to all technology now.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep it blunt. Nah, not keen.
Yes.
They'll read it like that. And I'll be like, no, I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I'll say something as a joke and they read it as like serious.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Or generally, like,
do you think you could live without your phone for a few weeks?
Oh, your thing went off again. Sorry. It's
A
overheating.
few weeks.
I couldn't because it's part of my work.
It depends on what's happening, like gig-wise, wedding-wise. If I had nothing for a month, I think I could. Definitely. Yeah.
Nothing? What do you mean? Like,
it would be tough though, because part of having my phone and technology is something that stimulates my brain. So I would have to replace
it stimulates
it.
everyone. That's why everyone's fucking addicted to it.
Yeah. I'd have to replace it with a different activity or a different goal or something that I can do.
Pegging.
Yeah, find someone to start pegging with. So, but yeah, my mates that have come out of jail, they say the one thing that they struggled with in the first few weeks is that wanting to pull the phone out. And then after a while, they get used to
So
not
the
having
guys that get out of prison.
Yeah. They say when they first go in, no phones.
Oh,
So the whole time,
they're reaching for something.
Yeah,
and
and it's not there. And then they're like, oh, fuck. Because then they go, after a while, it's actually quite nice.
I think
for being surrounded by blokes and being told what to do. But
I think I could go without it. Like, if I wasn't working, I think I could go without it. Like, but because I use it for work.
What about getting rid of a smartphone? Just having one of those.
Nokia ones.
No, because I genuinely do like social media and stuff with it. So, but I guess I could do that on a computer. That's a good idea. I could definitely try.
Is that a new challenge?
No, I've gone. Oh, I tried it, man. It's hard.
Tough.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like they've really like made us very, very dependent on the bloody things.
Especially with reels and like video content.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't. You like with what you guys do, you should be really up shit creek with no paddle.
It's so funny. There's a TikTok trend which is so oxymoronic of silent walking, and that's just going for a walk without your phone, earphones, nothing, just going for a normal walk.
Silent walking.
Yeah, we call it walking, right? But they've called it silent walking, and she's like, "Oh, guys, I've created this new thing. You can hear your own thoughts." And it's
I've recently in the last little while I just don't take my phone with me. So if I'm going with my wife or we're going somewhere, I just don't take my phone.
Yeah,
I actually won't take my wallet either, so she can pay. But like, I don't take anything with me, and that has only come about from that experience with that dollhouse.
Yeah, nice.
That happened a couple of years ago.
I went to the dollhouse. They made me put my phone away as well. When I got it out, they kicked me out.
That was that only came from that. I just everything I really need is with me right now.
Yeah.
My family, my kids, my wife, everyone, everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like she has a phone if I really need something. Yeah. I don't know. If it's there and it's on me, you can't bullshit me that you don't reach for it. Yeah. If there's that slight second of boredom or potential that you're going to be sitting by yourself, you grab your phone.
That's why That's why these are good. I've pulled my phone out. It's been going bananas, but I've pulled it out just to check the time because I got my parking. Yeah. But every other time, my phone's away for the pod.
Yeah.
It is a good time to.
It's one where we actually can sit and face each other
and which is annoying because I've kept it here today on my pocket, and I normally don't. I normally leave it out on there, but I've been freaking out because it's been attached to the Bluetooth and it was ringing the other day. But it's like a 2 hours of like where.
Yeah, this is where there is no unless it be like, oh man, there's this fucking thing. I'll show you or for the pod.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
It's good.
Then you get on, you got 48 notifications and
it's always when you. Trying not to use your phone that people will fucking hit you up. Like, I don't get a message all day. We do a podcast, fucking phone blows up. Oh, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. But I think those sorts of things like shorthand and stuff, it's not good for communications for everyone.
No.
Like I think it's changing the way we communicate, and that's the perfect and that is the perfect example. My inner monologue does not come across the way that I'm texting, for example. Yeah, and then that can cause issues. That would cause issues with
causes fights with girls, man.
Yeah, 100%. I used to message my ex-wife and she'd be like,
"You're an asshole.
What the fuck?" And I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I can see how you've read it, but no, that's not what I meant. Sorry." Oh, fuck. So yeah, communications are.
Just try to voice notes, man, even as much as I hate them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've started doing it recently only because I've realised that some of my things get misinterpreted. Yeah, what were you going to say? Sorry.
No, look, how you talking about how it changes the way everyone's obviously aware that how it's changed everyone's lives. But we had this couple of kids from my gym, and we were out a couple of weeks ago at one of those night markets, and I was just chatting to him, giving him a bit of shit, and talking about this girl that he likes, and she's 7 meters away, and he's never spoken to her.
Really?
He's only spoken to her online.
That's
and I was
crazy.
like,
do it.
Go talk to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, I can't do that. I was like, she's right there, man.
Yeah.
You've told me all these things about this girl that you like.
Yeah.
But you've never really spoken to her. I don't get it. And he's like, no. So I just went over and started talking to her.
Yeah.
And he was just blown away. I'm like, dude, you had to like, I couldn't, didn't you hate like ringing, hi, Mr. Jones, is Christy available?
I used to love that, bro.
Oh, I
would be
that.
on the phone from 7 till midnight.
Oh,
I had
chat
3 minutes.
Like, excuse me, Mr. Jones. Is it okay if someone comes and plays with us, please? Yeah, that was tough times, different times. Anyway, it is what it is. But that was definitely a bit of an eye opener.
I've got mates that are like that, where they won't talk to a girl in public or their shit, and then they get on their phone and they've got the Riz going, and the girls will come around. It's like, why can't you do what you're doing on your phone face to face?
Do women like that though?
It's probably less intimidating.
What, the text?
But also then
I feel like it's a real true sign of not a man, but like, hey, how you going?
Yeah.
I
I'm always.
Girls are a little bit fucked.
I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm and this goes back to that communication. I'm not good.
It blows
texting.
me away. It blows me away while you're still single.
I mean, like when you talk to them, they act like fucking. They would be like they're this big celebrity, man. Not all of them, I should say. But if you try to do that, like open communicate, go have a chat, there's always defenses straight up. Like not me anymore, but like when I was fat.
I just try to get off the text as soon as possible and just say, let's meet in person. Because I feel like, I can come across like a fucking asshole. Like I know I can through text, and I need to get better. But I get, especially with girls, I get this thing in my head. If I send a paragraph, it's too much. It's like, oh, fucking chill. So I'm like trying to communicate as better. And normally I'm just like, let's catch up for a drink or something like that. Because I know once I get there, you can see the empathy, I guess, and you can hear the tone and cadence, and you can tell if I'm being an asshole or if I'm just being cheeky or having fun or whatever. But that's me. But I don't know. I'm not good with the text with girls.
I'm just not good with the girls. Full stop. So
yeah,
I am now though. This is what I realized, bro. Like, not much has changed personality wise for me, except for my weight.
Yeah, and
the rejections from when I was fat was 98%, and now the rejections are very minimal. Like. Just like
you're a starter.
I mean in terms of like bad, like fucking brutally rejections.
I would suck you off.
Right. Just full brutal rejections, and I'm kind of annoyed because those brutal rejections are great stand-up stories.
Yeah,
and
well, it's life experiences you get to share, and when you're telling it, people can see the genuine.
Yeah, I haven't had any of them lately. So girls, give us some fucking brutal ones. Like, I don't mean that in an ego way. I just mean in terms of like. I've got told my name is what the fuck, cunt. I've been told like fucking all sorts of fucked up shit, man. Like I just have to stand over here now. She stood by herself, man. Like all sorts of crazy rejections. But now it's
fuck.
I'm trying, man. But it's just
that's a good problem to have.
Just laughing, but it's
you're
good.
A star, eh?
No,
you're a star.
Fuck yeah.
But anyway, next experience. What are we gonna do? What's the next big WWE?
You want to go?
Well, because Mush wants to go. I'm like,
I'm intrigued.
Could be an interesting experience.
I would go.
Apparently, like it's
depending on the price of tickets.
Yeah.
How much are the tickets?
I would imagine they're going to be. We're the only city in the whole of Australia since 2018. Perth won the rights to have WWE.
Okay.
So people will probably fly from over east. So it'd probably be pretty hard to get tickets.
Well, we get a few things. We got Coldplay. Coldplay's coming. Are they here soon? Only coming to Perth.
November or something, yeah.
Only coming to Perth.
Oh,
that's good. Yeah, it's about time we got some fucking shit over here. They always skip it.
I wouldn't be able to go watch it.
It'd
be good. It'd be good, like spectacle.
That's what it is. I think.
Yeah,
it's like fun. It's fun to watch, like nostalgia. Now, if The Rock came over with it, because The Rock's doing all this stuff at the moment, I'd be, yes, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'll
It
pay
doesn't
whatever.
matter if
It
you're going
doesn't,
or not.
But like
You're jabroni.
the nostalgia's not quite there anymore because it's not the characters that I grew up
I don't
with.
know any of the guys.
And if it's well expensive, I won't go. If it's like reasonable,
I'd imagine it's going to be
$150
about
bucks.
150.
Yeah, I
$200
might
bucks.
pay that.
Who was your favourite wrestler back in the day? Did you watch it?
The Rock was definitely
The Rock?
The Rock.
Stone
I used to
Cold?
love The Rock. Stone Cold. How good was Stone Cold?
Right.
I was a Stone Cold over The Rock, and then I'd have a little.
I used to like Mankind.
Mankind was
Yeah.
awesome, bro.
Mankind was good, but
Mr.
I never
Socko.
liked him as much as Stone Cold or Undertaker, Kane. I had my favourites. Always had my
Yeah.
favourites.
I loved Mankind and Dude Love and Cactus Jack.
What was it?
All the same guy.
Yeah,
Was it the Hardy Brothers?
the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys. They were sick,
They
like
were good.
flips and
Yeah, they were a bit more acrobatic and a
Yeah.
bit more daredeviling with their jumping off silly
Yeah.
things and
That was
crazy.
breaking their backs and shit like
Jeff
that.
Hardy was sick. He ended up getting he got like the world champion, whatever it is. I know it's fake, but
That's what I'm like. Don't understand.
but-
I'm world champ. It's like, well, your boss has decided. You know?
That's always made me. That's always intrigued me. Like when they say the Boston screw job,
Montreal.
Montreal screw job, and stuff like that. You're like, well, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand. It's scripted.
Well, I think they
How does-
told him that he
Yeah.
wasn't going to be, or he was going to be the champ,
Yeah.
and then he got fucked over. Or
But
something.
is there egos involved?
Fucking
is it like,
oath. 100%.
is it like I have to be champion? Like,
Yeah, 100%. It would just be like lead actors and actresses. You want to be the lead of a movie.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be the fucking
But
support
isn't
act.
it getting boring? Like I know that Roman Reigns has been the champion for a very long time,
I haven't seen it.
and it's like because I only know that because I've seen like something on Instagram or something. They were like Roman Reigns 400 days straight of being champ or something like that, which just gets boring.
Yeah, Gold Dust was 400 days gay. He was the first homoerotic guy.
What do you look at
Nothing.
if you look at stuff like that, like the fake wrestling? Do you look at it and still go, "That's something fun. That's something exciting"?
I wouldn't watch it.
Physically, they're
That's-
pretty,
I mean, trying,
pretty tough.
doing,
Would I try and do it?
yeah,
What, to compete in it? Or like to
yeah, like to.
No?
To be a WWE.
No, probably not.
No.
Unless
You
like,
want-
unless I was some big megastar or something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
like Israel Adesanya, and then they asked me to do WWE. Of course
Yeah,
you would.
or
They'd be
Logan
paying
Paul.
you good money.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. Making the decision to go down that path.
Yeah,
to
they
do
all,
it.
it's so funny listening to behind the scenes because they all think they're so fucking tough. Like, but then when you break down what they do, they're doing wrestling for like 355 days a year or something.
It's insane.
Going through
be
injury.
down more
and-
like the ultra path.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff interests me.
Yeah.
Or doing something like that, I think that's pretty cool.
maybe
Yeah.
work
You know?
work
Or the
towards
under-
that same challenge as me, the
I
Sahara.
like a lot of the unassisted ones. That's like I feel like that's pretty hard.
What about free diving?
Free diving scares me,
Fucking oath, bro.
but I just started skydiving a heap lately. So
Yeah,
I'm
I've
enjoying
seen
It's
that.
good fun.
Sick.
I'm in a competition this weekend.
What do you mean?
There's a state competition this weekend down at Hillman Farm.
How do you compete in a skydive?
Yeah,
You go in teams, so you get marked on your points of contact. So you jump out as a team, and you pretty much hold on to each other a certain position. Then you kind of let go, and you touch, and you do little spins or whatever in the air. And
So you're a rhythmic gymnastic in the air.
hey, man, it's like that's my new thing now. I love it
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
I have so much fun. Like it's so
And
good.
you're a solo diver then? You've been
I have been
accredited?
solo diving
Fuck.
for a while now.
do you do it
I've
with
been
Cody Manning?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do it
Is
with
Bart
Cody.
still doing
He's helped me
it?
out. He's helped me out heaps.
Yeah,
actually.
I know Cody really well.
He's done heaps of jumps, but like like I went a few trips up to June there. He gave me a hand like on a heap of different things, and
Yeah.
we did like he's got a bit of go in him, so it's good. Like
He's got a
like,
bit of go in him,
I'm
yeah.
not allowed to do certain things in the air because of where I'm at, and also the shoot that I have is
Yeah.
a bit dangerous to do some of the things. But he was just like, "Oh, when we get out of the plane."
Don't listen to Cody, man. You see the way he plays football.
He goes,
It's
"Hey,
fucking.
when we exit the plane, we'll just leave this way, but then we'll do this, and this. You know? Do a few things in the air, and it's a bit silly, but like I love it, man. I've had a lot of time. I've had a lot of fun. It's been my new thing.
Is
man.
it up in Jurien where you do it?
I did my course up in Jurien,
Yeah.
but you can do your course in either Jurien or Hillman Farm now. So there's two places to do it.
cool.
Hillman Farm's down near like where Williams is. You pretty much hit Williams, and then you turn west again down like a few dirt paths and go down there.
Because it interested me, this idea of doing that.
Do it, man.
But the cost thing in my head was a lot, but it's not that much, especially once it's done, hey?
So like, it's going to cost you around $3,000 or so to get your AF license. Your AF license is it's essentially 10 jumps. That just gives you your entry level to you getting your license.
Okay.
But then you got your A license, your B license, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I'm essentially trying to get my B license now. So I'm just there's a few prerequisites you need. You need a certain amount of jumps. You need to learn how to pack your chute. You need to have a few accuracy jumps as well. I haven't been for a while because I've been training a fair bit for this fight that I had last week. Yeah. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this weekend. It's just, for me, there's nothing like, cool jumping in the ring and fighting and jumping in that cage on the weekend. Yes, I was nervous, and yes, it was like it is very, very, adrenaline pumping, and it is exciting. But I've done it a lot, so whether it's a century thing where I'm like, I still get excited. But for me, it's just like there's nothing quite like jumping out of a plane, falling to your death. 200 kilometers an hour, 15,000 feet in the air. It's pretty cool.
Jump out of a ring when you can jump out of a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you met Bart Duplessis? I know he was doing it. Big
Duplessis.
Bart. He was training people up in Durian, I think. Absolutely.
No, I haven't met Bart. No.
Fuck, I saw a horror story the other day of the lady whose instructor wasn't wearing the altimeter. Is that what it's called?
Where was that?
I was in America, I think, and she jumped out. He didn't check. He pulled the chute at the exact same time that the reserve chute
deployed.
Yeah, like 1 second either side, they would have been safe. Because he pulled the chute at the same time the reserve chute was deploying.
At the same time,
They opened it and fucking strangled. He got choked out. Bang, landed. She landed either on him or him on her.
Okay, so
both survived.
Okay, so before we go any further, so people don't that's human error.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, it's like almost like with anything. Is skydiving dangerous? Yeah, but it's only down to human error.
Yeah.
Like those chutes always open. They will open. Whether they open correctly. Yeah, a lot of the time it is going to be human error, and that's a lot of aspects of life. But it's a bit unfortunate.
He wasn't wearing his ultimate. Like fuck, bro. The number one thing you do as an instructor, surely.
You should put that on your fucking thing. Or even if you're jumping with other people, like I'm not. There's been times where the first handful of times I jumped out with a multitude of people, and it's just so much more fun. It's so much more stimulating. It's like it's like me going for a ride on my bicycle right now, or I say to you guys, hey, let's go for a ride along the coast. It's more enjoyable with us. And jumping out of the plane with more people, I was just like.
Yeah.
And then I just forget to look at my altitude, forget to look at my altitude, and all of a sudden I look at all these other people tracking off, and I go, oh shit, and then you turn around and pull your chute. So if you jump with other people, that'd be hard to do. But that is quite silly not to jump with an altitude.
It does look so exciting. Like I've been watching Cody's stuff pretty closely, and
he can fly pretty good, man. He's right.
It's getting it gets me excited. But I just at the moment, man, it's just the money. Like I'm just like,
I couldn't even fucking fly by myself in iFly, bro. I'm like fucking, just couldn't get the
positioning. Look at now that I've done it a bit now, I look at some of the people that go into the tunnel, or even just not even the tunnel, the people that I see fly at Hillman or Durian, and I see what they do with their bodies in the air, and you would look at that and you go, that's pretty cool. But I look at that now and I go, that is hours, man.
Next level.
Hours and hours and tens of thousands of dollars to be able to move your body like that in the air. And
lots of stretching.
It
comes back.
With the odd little bit of pegging here and there to lubricate the prostate. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, we've got 14,000 fucking issues going on with the microphones, the cameras, so I think we're going to have to end it.
Right, we've done a marathon sesh where we've even burnt the camera out.
Yeah, the audio's, it's cutting out there.
Oh, shit.
But it's all right, lucky we're recording it on that end.
Wow.
So this is why I need to get a computer.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, boys.
All right.
Appreciate it,
bro.
But yeah, cheers for coming on. We've got a couple of seconds. Is there anything you want to plug?
That's completely gone.
Yeah, I know.
Yours is dead.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's dead.
Oh, fuck.
But it's
Oh,
not.
now that's fallen down.
Jesus Christ.
This is
All right,
falling
we
apart.
need to end this
Okay.
shit. This is.
We'll just finish it up.
Oh my God! What the fuck? If that's not a sign, follow the universe. Path of least resistance.
We're done. Boys, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I'll see you later.
Yeah, perfect. Over it.